Welcome back to Magic Gathering Strat. I'm Dan, and today I will be playing a deck that has torn up the Paper Pauper tournament circuit in a place called Nova Friburgo. It's close to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and they run a lot of paper tournaments in Pauper. And this deck has been created by Vinicius Castillo Teixeira, VCT on mtgsalvation. And I'm playing his deck. I wanted to take a deck out of real pauper tournaments instead of just from the dailies. And I've been looking for a mono black control list with corrupts, so here we are. We are playing Hpmate, who is a sparring partner from and if you want to be in a video, let me know what decks you have, and I'll make you a buddy of Magic Gathering Strat, this Magic account. So, and the best way to reach me is to send a message on YouTube. Okay, it's time to fight. Thank you Hpmate for being the sparring partner here. He's playing DelverFiend, and I don't have a particular fast start against him. So you could make an argument for me throwing that hand back, but it looked so tasty. And I know that one of my big faults in Magic is probably that I take too few mulligans. Though his hand doesn't look like a turn 2 kill. Augur hurts DelverFiend quite a bit. One reason I like this mono black controller is probably because it's pretty similar to blue black trinket control as well. There's a lot of the same cards. I like Augur of Skulls in blue black trinket, and the one card I lack in blue black trinket is corrupt, and it's here. There are 3 corrupts in this deck. I'll include a list in the show notes. This DelverFiend is quite good at flipping Delvers. And now Kiln Fiend is out, and that is not good. But we get to destroy his hand. Pretty hard actually. We get rid of 2 cards here, and then we can Chitter. So, but if he has one unblockable flashback card, oh, that's interesting. So do I go for the kill here? He might have a counterspell or an Apostle's Blessing. Or do I go for the Chittering Rat, who can block the Kill Fiend and destroy his hand, and then go for the kill next turn? On the other hand, I can deadweight Unearth the Augur. I think I'm gonna do just that. And I am just ignoring the 3/2 Delver. But next turn I can get rid of him too. Unless another Kill Fiend or a Wee Dragonaut show up. And they do. That gives me... oh gosh, nice. Gush is pretty good Augur protection. But he will need his mana. Well, one spell and we Dragonauts is 3/3. Is he more dangerous than Delver or not? So it's probably Befoul. I have to Befoul to stop. I can't take damage from both of these guys. And I think I'm going to get rid of the Dragonauts because I know how fast that I know how fast the Delver clock is. It's 4 turns or 3 turns with an assault strobe. But I need to find one more removal. Oh my god. Crypt Rats, where are you? Everything is forgiven. Another Augur done. But this, it will be 6 damage if he flips. That will be too much. There is no way back from that. So we must rely on the Delver not flipping. Did I miss doing Undying Evil, Augur of Skulls? There are some distractions in the background here. And I might just have missed that. That's pretty bad. Okay, I'm down at 5. And he has now emptied his hand. So there is no reason to get rid of the Augur here. And Rager is going to desperately look for a damage, for a creature control spell, but we don't find one. So we are now dead to flip Delver. And we have one more draw to find a solution if the Delver doesn't flip. It doesn't. The verdict doesn't do anything, so this means that we are dead. Yep. Okay, time to sideboard. We definitely will need fast ways to defend ourselves. We don't need the Lifestaffs, right? I'm gonna cheat and check the elusive trinket control sideboard plan that I'm not allowed to show you. Having a prepared sideboard plan is just so good. And I really like that. Okay, I am bringing in the Duresses, the Lifestaffs. And what to take out? Of course you need to take out Signing Bloods. And Chittering Rat doesn't do much. So we're taking out 3 Chittering Rats. And there we go. On to game 2. We are playing first. Is this a hand we can keep? It also very slow. One thing I'm lacking in this list is all the fast removal. Such as Fume Spitter, such as Tragic Slip, and things that really we need to live until turn 3 and 4 to get going, and that's often quite hard in Pauper, especially against decks such as Burn and DelverFiend. So this deck, although powerful, seems to be a bit slow at start. And if you look at the blue-black Ninja Teachings deck compared to blue-black Trinket Control, that is what makes the difference. Blue-black Trinket Control has a fast defense, whereas Ninja Teachings doesn't, and just gets overrun by Goblins, by Burn, and by DelverFiend. Because even with Infect and Storm gone, there are still very, very fast decks in Pauper. But this time I might be able to get to Tendrils mana. And if I can hit 1 Tendrils for 4, I am a happy camper. It looks like Corrupt will come into play here as well. I'm not that fond of Rager. He's just a 2/2 that doesn't do much. Throwing a card is nice, but I think there are just a lot better cards, such as Liliana Spectre. But I am not a mono black control expert, and here this deck got going. I suppose mutagenic growth could have saved them there, but I would at least have gained 4 lives. And now I'm at 23, and it looks very likely that I will be able to corrupt. And a couple of corrupts is a lot of fun. I would say that corrupts are the very reason to play mono black control. Lifestaff looks like a fun thing to play. The clock is now much faster. I also have the lives, and I will do the same trick as last time. I suspect he boarded in Dispels, and that was a nice situation for Dispel, but I didn't see one. So next turn we are off to Corrupt Land. And given that we have... of course. Given that we have Deadweight, we might corrupt to the face. Although I feel that is a tiny bit risque. That guy has a corrupt painted on his head. $28, hitting for 4. We will deal with a Killfiend or a Delver using Deadweight, so we actually get to use it. Also, saving corrupt for a turn might mean 1 more life. I did play with Deadweight in blue-black trinket control, but I took them out for Tragic Slips. But you do need Fume Spitters to play Tragic Slips. Without Fume Spitters, it is probably the card I would use. Do I have anything worth keeping here? No. Okay, now I'm lethal. So let's see. Oh, another corrupt. This is just insane. Well, there's not much I can do about that. I'm at 31 lives, and I'm gonna corrupt to the face, because next turn I can corrupt to the face again and win the game. But I should probably not try to do that in the declare blocker step, but rather wait for the main phase where you can cast your sorceries. That happens a lot in Magic Online. When my creature die, I sort of think there's no creature left for the combat phase. The combat phase should end, but of course it doesn't. And corrupt for the win. I did cast all my corrupts in this game, and that's fairly lucky. So we are off to game number 3. We got 1 win each. Here's another hand that if I can reach 4 mana, I am good, unless he has an Apostle's Blessing. But he can do so much damage to me during these first turns. But I don't have a lot to hope for. Given my casting cost here, I have 2 Deadweights, the 4 Geth's Verdict. I don't want to mulligan until I find one of them. It's just 6 cards. But this time he is going for the quick combo, so he mulligans to 4. So I decided to keep a somewhat shaky hand, and I was incredibly rewarded for it. I'm not saying it was correct, but this time it worked out quite nicely. I think his deck mulligans terrible, that he has a very hard time winning without a full grip of cards at start. And the one Chittering Rat that I remember I took out the other 3, this one will work overtime now and totally wreck his hand. reason I take out Chittering Rats against a deck like this is that if we are top decking, casting a 2/2 for 3 that can't block flyers will probably be fatal. It's I'm not 100% sure that is the reason, but I'm only taking my orders for the blue-black trinket control deck from a much better player than myself, and he often boards out Chittering Rats. Well, Chittering Rats now have Shadow on the opponent's turn, and I think this deck is quickly going in my favor, and it's just a matter of executing him with tiny little black useless creatures, the way mono black control wins. Well, if you can get out of this, Hpmate, I'm pretty proud of you. That's 11 damage on the board with Corrupt, 12 with Geth's Verdict. So I should swing one more time and then Corrupt to the face. As an added insult to injury, I will now befoul his mountain. Oh my god, Crypt Rats! Do I now use Crypt Rats for 1 point? No, I don't. But I do befoul the mountain. And now I'm lethal. Why bring in electricity for the augurs? But 4 augurs, 3 Crypt Rats. Is that good enough to play electricity? They're often not out at the same time. I'm not convinced. I would need more electricity targets. And this is game. Another Corrupt for added insult. Well, that's 2-1 for the mono black control deck versus DelverFiend. Thank you, Hpmate. For sparring. You have been watching Dan playing for Magic Gathering Strat. I've been playing mono black control against DelverFiend, and this deck is the winning Rio de Janeiro paper pauper deck from our friend Vinicius Castillo Texiera. I butchered your name again. Sorry about that. Thank you for watching.